My name is Kevin Martin, and I wrote the book Surviving the College Admissions Madness. I've worked in and around college admissions for the past decade, and I've helped hundreds of students and families gain admission to their dream school while staying sane. One of the reasons I wrote my book is I was attempting to unpack why the American admissions system is absurd and inefficient. Drawing on my experiences as an undergraduate admissions counselor at the University of Texas, I saw and experienced just how constrained I was to speak my mind and also make a difference while inside the admissions and higher education system. I would speak out, but I've just had enough. And I think students and families and educators across the United States are simply tired of the myths that universities purport and the hypocrisies of the higher education system in the United States. So for that reason, in most of my videos and in my book, I am much less interested in offering policy recommendations to unaccountable politicians or proposing admissions reforms to non-responsive university bureaucracies. And even when they decide to change, it takes so much time, years and years. For example, the biggest innovation in the past decade was this new coalition application, which changed exactly nothing with regards to college access and diversity recruitment, for example. Nevertheless, throughout my videos in my book, there's 7 potential college admissions reforms that kind of summarize, if I had a magic wand, the sort of things I would want to do differently in the college admissions system. The first thing is to simply have fewer essays and application requirements, such as recommendation letters, interviews, and letters of continued interest. One positive development was College Board finally getting rid of the SAT subject tests. The second thing is to diminish or eliminate the role of holistic review at less selective universities, who can probably admit enough students and enroll a freshman class based solely on their transcript and SAT scores alone. And nowadays, in a test optional environment, many universities are simply admitting students based on that transcript. My third suggestion is to have more transparent and accountable admission standards. For example, publishing explicitly what's required to be competitive, or more importantly, showing what kinds of students may not be competitive or a good fit for that university. Fourth, I advocate for consistent enrollment management policies that don't exploit students as consumers, with a decreased emphasis on aggressive marketing and recruitment. When students receive up to 100 emails a day from varied universities, that signals a dysfunction in the admissions process. Fifth, universities need to put applicants' needs and family well-being on par with their budgets, which I know is a tall task, considering the varied hypocrisies of reopening policies during the COVID pandemic, or for example, forcing college football seasons when it was clearly unhealthy. Another suggestion is to remove the tax-exempt charity status for elite universities, unless they serve broader swaths of society. And finally, in my book, Surviving the College Admissions Madness, I make a serious proposal for a partial admissions lottery that seeks to preserve some aspects of holistic review while also getting rid of the most troublesome aspects of enrollment, things like waitlists and deferrals. A partial admissions lottery is outside of the scope of this video, but in a future video I plan to discuss it more. One of the reasons these 7 proposals are probably never going to happen, or certainly won't happen beyond a few universities, is that they're highly resistant to change because they're unwilling to sacrifice even an iota of control or lose any recruiting or admissions edge relative to their peer institutions. I also contend that no admissions professionals affiliated with institutions or even large educational consulting firms are willing or able to provide such provocative content like I do in these videos, or a comprehensive takedown of the admissions system, like in my book, Surviving the College Admissions Madness. Most admissions professionals and educators either are too overly concerned about their professional reputations, or their freedom of speech is hamstrung by their institutions, like I experienced at UT Austin. Other counselors simply choose to do nothing, or they fail to acknowledge their complicity in aggravating hundreds of thousands of families each year. They love to talk amongst themselves at conferences and private Facebook groups where I tend to lurk, and they applaud themselves about how great they are for alleviating poverty or increasing college access for marginalized populations. And there might be some truth to their claims, but the public remains mostly in the dark regarding higher education and college admissions policy debates. So in that way, college admissions is highly undemocratic, and it's something that occurs largely behind closed doors and outside of the light of public view. Their conversations are so out of touch with the lived realities and primary concerns of the families that they supposedly serve. And one of the points I reiterate throughout all of my videos is that elite universities do not care about you. I wish that they were more open to reforms, but I'm sure if any of them take the time to watch these videos, they might even think, wow, that sounds kind of nice, but then nothing will change because very little has changed in the last 2 decades. And for that reason, the college admissions madness is accelerating down the train tracks out of control. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can find my email in the information section of this video, so feel free to reach out if you're interested in working together.